So when I brought up Camron talking about Dame Dash the other day, what was Cam talking about? He was talking about a situation where Dame Dash called Cam to a movie set to show love. Yo, pull up, man. I'm over here shooting a scene. He said Cam and Juju pulls up, his girlfriend at the time, and Dame just traps him like, oh, yo, put some furs on them. We're gonna put them in the next scene. And Cam's like, yo, I'm just here to show love. Like, I'm not trying. No, 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 no. Jump in the scene real quick. And he said the next day he traps him again. Yo, you gotta wake up, come back to the set, do this follow up scene. Well, you said yesterday's scene. If you don't do this follow up, you ruin the whole movie. Guilt tripping him and shit. The way Cam broke that down, I said two things. I said number one, on Dame's side, it's fucked up. You break the trust of me as a friend if you're gonna put me in a position like that. You're trying to like overuse me to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Let's be on the same page if I'm walking up to show love. Don't do shit like that. That don't look good. But I said on Cam's side, I said, you see the way he's up on his platform using Dame as content, and he's talking about Dame and situations like this that just make Dame look horrible. You can't convince me that Cam fucks with Dame. When the camera cut on, he might say things like, oh, and I wish the best for Dame and shout out to Dame. We made a lot of money. I fuck with him, but you don't care about him. If you're willing to sacrifice your old friend like that for content that'll make him look bad, you don't fuck with him anymore. So technically, Dame coming back in an interview like this and taking the gloves off was completely warranted. But not only did Dame take the gloves off, Dame is kind of pulling a reverse Uno card on Cam. Expect a reaction and response from Cam. Because Dame is talking some shit in here. He's talking some shit.
This week is a week that I want to handle everything that bothers me, or things that just need to be dealt with. Number one, yesterday I got a surgery in my eye because I had to remove liquid that's in my eye because I'm diabetic. You can diabetes shame me if you want, but other diabetics can relate. You can get these things that are called floaters in your eye, and I got gel. Everyone does in their eye. It makes the blood stay there, so they had to take the gel out. And I kind of stopped. Like I didn't want to start to do this bosses take losses again until I got my new teeth, but it was so complicated. But we're finally dealing with it, and I just feel like there's some things I need to say today. And usually, the last interview I did with the bandana. But I can only justify dressing like, a cowboy when I'm on my ranch or the family ranch, and we're not there right now. But I had things that I want to say, and I think I want to talk clearly. So I'm not going to sit here and grit my teeth all day. Fuck all that, and I don't care. It's your joke. But know that right now I'm in my dentist office, and tomorrow I'm getting the surgery, and hopefully by the time y'all see this, I'll have some new teeth. But these are like my dentist. I had some grills, and until I could get things sorted out, he made them. Alligator Jesus made them, but they don't hold nothing because all these implants broke in my mouth, which has nothing to do with age or it's.
He's about to get in mode when it comes to Cam if he was willing to take his top teeth out and say, fuck it, I'm just going to allow myself to talk more regular and freely. Because that last interview, that's why the bandana across his face, so that he didn't have to talk like this without his teeth falling out. You know what I'm saying?
Never happened before. No one knows if 5 implants breaking. But I do have some things that I want to say. Cam has been talking a lot. Sometimes it's complimentary, but a lot of times it's things that I don't think that we should be speaking about publicly. And I can't, he won't, I haven't called him a lot, but when I did call, he doesn't pick up. And I think he's publicly said he doesn't pick up my calls if I call because he can't win this argument with me or, over, I don't know. But I do want to give him some advice because I haven't been able to talk to him.
Because this is like 20 minutes long and I want to play a bunch of it, my bad. I'm going to break in every once in a while, y'all. That would be some sucker shit. If we're homies like that and I'm calling you and you're not picking up, but you're going on the internet and you're doing content on me and you're killing me and kicking my ass and talking shit about me. Meanwhile, Dame does this whole, we shouldn't be on the internet talking and doing the chatty patty thing. He damn near take shots at podcasters and bloggers too, right? He would be breaking his own morals by doing this video right here. But he's saying, this is my only way to communicate back to fucking Cam. He won't even answer my phone. So once again, I tell y'all, Cam don't really fuck with him. He's just using Dame for content.
So, number one, he said some things about my pockets. And initially, I was going to respond. But the Queen of Harlem came up and she kind of was just like, leave it alone. she made logical sense. And I just, I just felt like, I'll deal with it when I see him or when we talk, but I haven't seen him, but I keep hearing him talk about me. So I want to give him the advice because he's talking about me publicly. I guess I'd have to give him the advice publicly. So I would prefer not to have to do this, but in public. But I guess this is what you want. And also, I'm noticing that you're leveraging it for views. That seems to now be your business. So, I guess I could get some views as well. Fuck it. I look at it more like I guess maybe you're throwing me some jaded alley-oop, but I'm very surprised. This isn't the Cam that I know. Or
Mind you, he's saying I might as well get some more of it. Fuck it. Maybe look at this like an alley oop. This is on that new network. You see American New Network. This is recording and dropping on Dame's channel. So he said, "Fuck it, I'll take a couple $100 from it my damn self." Right? I mean, might as well control your content if you're gonna do it.
cosign. Like number one, talking about another man's pockets. I just felt like him and I would have conversations about that's just not the most masculine thing to do. Talking about other people, especially when they're not in the room, to me is coward shit. For me, if you have something to say to someone that you respect and that you don't go on a television show and speak on it, give them the respect of calling them.
That's the point that I keep making several streams now. He doesn't respect you anymore. He doesn't.
And, I would challenge you to ask your co-host Mace or the girl that is with you if they think that the right approach is to talk about people that you respect that have helped you in public because they said something that you don't like rather than call them. And I don't respect because anyone can sound articulate and tough or confident when no one's there to challenge them. Right. I just wish that we could have a conversation so that the things that you're saying so confidently, I could give you the right advice about your perspective on them. But there's no point for talking about people that aren't in the room if you can talk to them. And what I notice is when you do have people on your show, you're very nice to them, and I don't think it's a problem being nice, but I do think there's times that they should be challenged. Like I would never think that the Cam I knew would use his platform to sit with his old ops and talk about his brothers. So
the 50 interview. Oh,
my advice, Cam, is like, again, this is something that I've lived by. If someone had a problem with you, generally speaking, unless I could squash it, pause, then they had a problem with me. So if someone is disrespecting you and I have them on my show, respectfully, I'm going to ask them about it. But I'm not going to sit with someone that I know is disrespecting my friends and be ha-ha and he-heing with them. I just wouldn't advise that. Also, this thing I saw, because you brought it up, about you talking to Memphis Bleak on your platform about the presidency of Rockefeller. Number one, it was the vice presidency that we spoke about. But all we did was have a conversation between someone that I respected to be able to have a real conversation with. Until I got to talk to the rest of my crew about it, it's just called talking ideas. And where I'm from, it's not thorough to have a really private conversation and go to the radio and tell everybody before everyone else knows. Now, I just thought you were young, and I didn't even let you know, but I think you know how many problems that mistake you made caused. But you never said nothing to correct it. And now you're saying something about the presidency, which is not true. Sitting with people that you used to disrespect daily, at least that's what I used to see, laughing about the fact that you misspoke, not caring about how much damage that caused to Rockefeller. Memphis Bleak told you that started everything. And it's all because of a conversation we had that you went and made public. That's not some Harlem shit. That's some young shit. But now that you're about 50 years old, just laughing about it, thinking that that's funny without caring about the recourse of this mistake you made, my advice is I don't think that's the way to approach it. And if you do have someone like Bleak, you should ask them why they were so mad. And I think you should have explained to them that, number one, you weren't going to be doing shit at Rockefeller. You were going to be running Dipset, nothing to do with Rockefeller. And Beanie was going to be running state property. But that was just a conversation I had it with Beans. But y'all never talked. So now that I'm seeing how you're laughing at it, I'm wondering if you did it on purpose. Because it doesn't seem as if there was good intention. There's no remorse for it. I don't appreciate that. So that would be a conversation I'd have with you. Like, bruh, you actually went up there and talked about a personal conversation before I told anyone else and got to talk to them. So let's say Jay or Big disagreed with it, or it was too much friction, it wouldn't have happened. But that's not the reason why it didn't happen. The reason why it didn't happen was because after you got off the radio, from what I remember, you had your lawyer send me something saying I was going to have to pay you $750,000 to do it. And I just said, forget it. Maybe I'm wrong. And then you attacked my art. So I have to address it. You gave an opinion on my art. I'm going to give an opinion on yours. Since Rockefeller, I haven't seen you make a hit record yet. And to the extent that you're no longer, rapping. So I always wondered about that. I'd be like, I don't understand why you're not putting out these records like you used to. But, at the time, I don't think you weren't coming around, because I think that thing had happened in front of my cousin where, homeboy punched you in your face, and you never had that conversation with me. I had to hear about it through my cousin because you're very non-confrontational. I believe that Sen, who's next to you, P-Hep, everyone, all your friends, and we all know that you've always been very sensitive and that you are very overreactive. So it's hard to tell you the hard truth. What the truth, Cam, is I just feel like, you've been overreacting, and I don't think your justification for the things you're saying to the people that you love or that did so much with you, I don't think that, I don't think it's justified. And again, back to the art. So the reason why you're saying you didn't promote Honor Up is because, I don't know, for the clip I saw, you were saying because I threw you in the scene or you came to visit. We spoke about Honor Up. You did come in the scene, pause. But we also did a lot, like you showed up 3 or 4 times and do a lot of other scenes, which you did. And at the time, you were telling me that you wanted to make sure that Juju was expanding her brand. So I thought I was doing you a favor. And I don't remember any of this, just get in and freestyle and all that. Maybe it might have happened one day, but again, when would I ever come to a video set of yours and not jump in the video? But I don't remember it quite being that way. What I do remember is you did show up a couple of times. You were late every time, which fucked up my schedule. So I had to freestyle a lot, but I still was appreciative. But I put up $1 million. So to put that in perspective, I've heard you talk about you put up $200,000 for your show. I put up $1 million. And now you're going to say your shit was whack. But number one, again, I haven't seen you make a hit record since Rockefeller, to the extent that you're doing a different profession. So I'd like to see you make a hit record, because this is what I imagined you at this time, not just performing your old versions of your records. But also, I haven't seen you in a hit movie or TV show or anything other than interviewing people since Paid in Full. So you're a person that makes movies a lot, but no one hears about them because they're terrible. But I would still promote them. So what I'll do is the same thing I did with 50. Let's go movie for movie. You
hold
show
on.
your movies, I'll show mine. Show the one where you're being a drama actor, all those
That's where I gotta. That's where it stops for me. All right, because we're doing so good here. You put the blicky down. Hold on. You know when that comes out, y'all know the stream by now. I think the first time it was really, really introduced was the Jazz rant when she went off. Y'all know if the Nerf comes out, shots is getting fired. Okay, but real talk, real talk. All jokes aside, Day makes Cam look real crazy in this interview. Calm, collected. Cam has a reputation for being extremely petty. I wish I could tell y'all something that came to my phone this week, last week. Something that came to my phone about Cam behind the scenes. Somebody that knows Cam personally. It's not public. Somebody told me something about him. I was just like, "Ooh, that might be true." I hope that I hope that this person. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know how it's gonna play out. But anyway, Cam got a thing about him. Cam ain't no fucking angel. You know what I'm saying? I think he does a lot of whack stuff to people at times. And his petty levels, people think that he's one of the most petty people that you will ever meet in your life. Like he'll go above and beyond to try to make you look bad. Okay. And Cam, obviously, on his show, it doesn't go over my head. He has this way about trying to speak on situations or address things and acting like he's trying to do it from a harmless standpoint, right? I see through it. I fuck with Cam. I fuck with the platform, but we always gonna call a spade over here. All right. Dame has been down and I've covered it every fucking times. But if I'm gonna be real about my fucking podcast, people, when I see something, I'm gonna be honest about it, or I'm not gonna speak on it at all. One or the other. I gotta keep it like that. Cam, you doing this? Oh yeah. So by the way, the story and then blah blah blah. But you're really throwing your man under the bus, crazy. And for him to come back with these type of details, the shots is one thing, right? Because it makes you think and it makes you look like he's really trying to make you look bad for having this transition into an interviewer and a podcast. And he's like, the all the height of your career, music and movies and all that, you haven't done any of that since you were with me, Rockefeller. So he's taking his clear, blatant fucking shots. But even the early part about you not talking to me and using me as content, that's number one. Number two, you up there with past ops. Now it's cool. If we're gonna let bygones be bygones and we're gonna move on, whether it's Bleak, whether it's 50, whether it's whoever I'm bringing up here now for content, and we cool now, it's 20 years, 30 years later, that's cool. But at my expense, and I was the one that we was at odds with them, and you're gonna let up there and ha ha and kiki with them after as they take shots at me? Like how? You don't got more loyalty to me than you got to them? How? For them, for you, they're just content. They're just alliances now. For me, I'm your old brother. No, we didn't make millions. So that is kind of whack. That is kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to go towards those type of questions. Now let me go to this whole one of the biggest ones, the Rockefeller shit. When it was announced to us, that Cam was about to be a president and whatnot. And we remember, Jay-Z, he comes back home from vacation and he pretty much just shut everything down. And then I think there was a song dropping. It was that whole, remember the whole Hovey's home, all of that shit. He was like, damn, the nigga just came back from Paris or whatever and says all this fucking Rockefeller company shit that's going on. I'm stopping all of it. He was like, damn, Jay, like, are you backing Dame's idea or not? Like, but the way Dame makes it sound is like it was conversations. So if me and Biggs is having conversations, at some point the conversation is also going to happen with Jay. And I'm having these conversations with you because it's ideas. I'm telling you, hey, man, I'm trying to make you a president over here, not of Rockefeller, but of the dips. He was very adamant about clarifying that. I'm trying to make you a president over here. And then you go to the public, you go to radio and you say, yeah, I'm the president or whatever. Yeah, you're going to put Jay in the spot too. And you and Jay already have issues that involve like the old boy beat and or feature and all of that. Cam and Jay never was on the same page. They had the 106 and Park shit where Jay comes out while Cam is there to promote. You can see some of the awkwardness or whatever. Cam and Jay was never like this. Never. And then you also got Jay and Mace. So if Cam and Mace is together and they're hanging around each other, but everybody's saying imaginary players, like that's one of the people that Jay's dissing on the song. Mason. So there's always been a Harlem and Brooklyn thing between some of these guys. All right. So for Cam to announce presidency, Jay is definitely going to have an issue with that, as per the history of hip hop that we know about publicly. So if Dame is trying to get you a spot, now you're my Harlem brother. I'm with Jay, but I'm also with you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to get you this presidency shit, it's got to be done a certain way. So if Cam jumped the gun, which put Jay in a position to come home and say, I just got to let the world know this is not happening, Dame is right. You ran your mouth. You jumped the gun. Jay shut it all down. That creates further friction between Jay and Dame. And Bleak is out here in interviews saying that was the beginning of the big problems. So Cam, it really shouldn't be laughed at. And if you're the one if you was the center of that mistake or exploding the Rockefeller breakup, whether there was tension already, but if your scenario was the biggest piece, the nail that broke or the needle that broke the camel's back, as far as, oh, hold on, what's this? Diplomats coming in and presidency for Campbell? Fuck all this shit, yo. Dame and all y'all niggas, Jay having this whole different. If that's the biggest thing, you shouldn't be laughing at it. Especially if Dame is still your boy and you see where Jay ended up once all this division started or ended, and you see how Dame ends up. It's not solid. If how Dame is painted it is accurate, it's not solid, Cam. And when Cam do some right shit, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spaz on Omar like I did, right? Omar used a snitch for trying to sue Cam, if that's true, because you was involved in it. You dropped 4 diss records and all that. I just dropped that stream 2 days ago. I'll be on these streams sticking up for Cam, calling a spade a spade. Dude a snitch, blah, blah. Omar for that. Gooden. But if Dame is painting this correctly, it's not stand up. It's not solid. It's not. And then, yes, you would owe this guy a conversation instead of getting on your platform, killing him, kicking him while he's down. I don't owe Dame that. I don't know him. I could stream about him any fucking day. But Cam, you're kicking him while he's down and he's reaching out to you for a conversation that you're ducking. That ain't solid. That ain't solid. I'm just saying, we would call a spade a spade.